The difference between COR5 and other online assessments might be best described by this analogy. Most of them are like a single silver bullet. And while that's simpler, unfortunately the reality of human behavior is that most people aren't that simple. And so what we have is, you might say, the 5 silver bullets that gives us a much more comprehensive and realistic perspective of how people are wired. Yeah, and so these 5 silver bullets give us a broader understanding of both the motivations that cause people to do what they do, the capabilities that explain what we're good at, and naturally need to either develop further or not focus on doing. And so it's kind of like understanding 20% of a person, which is largely what the most popular ones, the ones that I actually co-authored on DISC, or personal style, as well as Myers-Briggs temperament inventory type of assessments, a variety of them out there. But they help us understand our habits, for instance, our preferences, but they don't help us understand things like our beliefs, our passions. They don't understand what we're good at in terms of various capabilities or our adaptability. And so we're getting a better understanding of the total person with the 5 bullets. It's kind of like the difference between, listen, do you want to understand 20% of who you are, or more like 100% of who you are? Well, the practicality is that people only at 20%, that's where we find that's about the same level of success in terms of hiring, because they're only looking at one of the 5 dimensions that describes why people do what they do and how they do it. And it may be that the area that they're assessing is not the area that's so key for success in that job. Same thing in personal relationships. And so it applies in terms of communicating, influencing, selling, managing, you name it. Virtually any aspect when you have to deal with another human being, whether it involves task performance or interpersonal relationship type performance. Well, basically what happens is that most people change or evolve over life. Of those 5 type assessments, there's only one that is basically we could say go backward to understand the core of how that person was in terms of habits and preferences. But most of us, I'm not the same person at my age now that I was when I was in high school. When I had my 50th high school reunion, that became very obvious to people. Okay, I wasn't a doctor back then. Okay, and some people said, oh, here's this nice guy who's easygoing, and friendly and so on and so forth. Now they had a wholly different version of somebody who had written 8 books and was known around the world for what he had done. And so it's the same idea, is that we have the opportunity to grow. And unfortunately, some of these assessments kind of like to pigeonhole people. We're not doing that. We're using this to help you on your own terms understand yourself. And we're saying the person you are today does not have to be the same person that you are a year, 3, 5 from now. It's totally up to you.
Go to COR5.com today to complete your free assessment.